What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And good morning, everyone. Literally, good morning. I am up early here in Utah. Today when this airs, I will be on a plane to Scotland. How fun will that be? So yes, good morning. Welcome everybody to Right Body for You. I am Donnielle, your host, and your body tour guide to hopefully more fun with your body. And I don't just mean, bomb chicka wow wow fun. That included also, of course, but also what if you could enjoy your body no matter what is going on? And maybe that might make your day a little bit better. So today's title, I love this title. It's called Righteous Suffering. Who the hell does that belong to? Which I have a rather perverse sense of humor. And when you say who the hell does that belong to, righteous suffering is actually a very religious connotation. And so when we're asking who the hell it belongs to, it's perverse enough that it just makes me laugh. I know some of you are laughing with me, at me. I'll take either one. All right. So, in this suffering of bodies came up the other day. We're in the middle of this 30 days of nurturing you and your body. Literally, today is number 15, and it's been an amazing series. The stuff that's come up, things that people have changed, has just been incredible. Just by nurturing their bodies. It's not been like heavy lifting every day. Basically, it's just been acknowledging in daily activities of how to nurture your body. And if you still want to join it, you can. You can go to Donnielle.com and follow the link there and sign up, or email me at Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com, and we will get you set up. Okay, so this came up when we were talking about, we had a call. One of the parts of the 30 days is a live call. Actually, this one is a live video call. And the thing about suffering of bodies comes up. And it was really interesting, the stuff that came up. Because it's like, how many of us actually make it something to brag about, the suffering of bodies? And I know there are members of my family whose bodies are filled with pain. He said that his body is one of his trials this life, to be able to make it into heaven. Which I'm like, okay, so at that point of view of your body is a trial to suffer through to be able to make it into heaven, then as long as you're on the earth and with this body, you're going to make sure it is a trial that you are suffering to validate the righteousness and the, what's that word, folks? The righteousness and the almost like the piety, of everything, sanctity. So everything that is and everything that brings up, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, football, nice, yours, boys, and beyond. And that, my friends, is an example of the Access Consciousness verbal clearing statement and processing, which Right Body for You is a part of Access Consciousness. Access Consciousness was created and developed and founded by Gary Douglas over 28 years ago or something like that. We're in 174 countries. It's amazing, you guys. We're in countries I didn't even know were countries. I mean, I'm fairly decent at geography. I'm getting better the more I travel the world. And every once in a while I'll get registrations and I will look up the country because I'm like, I don't know where this is. But it's really fun to see how this is all expanding and exploding in the fun way. So if you want to learn more about the Access Consciousness Verbal Clearing Statement, you can go to theclearingstatement.com, and you can learn all about it. But basically, the tools work on the energetic level, and it helps you to let go of those energetic blocks that may actually be stopping you from creating the change that you're asking for. The good thing about it is it's energy. We all speak energy. If you don't believe me, watch some of the other, or listen to some of the other shows. I talk about that a lot. So you don't actually have to know what it is for it to work. You just have to be willing to go, something has to change. That suffering is no longer fun. We're going to choose something different. Okay. So it was really interesting. It was really interesting during this call because we were talking about, well, basically, so we were day 13 into this nurturing of bodies, right? And it was really interesting how potently the suffering of bodies came up. Because it's like, look at it. How many of us actually suffer with our bodies daily? Okay? And you know me, I looked up the word suffering for the original definition. Okay? And it's patient enduring of hardship. Patient enduring of hardship. That's what definition of suffering is. And it was interesting because some people even were like, well, I didn't even think I was suffering, but this is bringing up so much energy for me. Yeah, it's like I haven't even been acknowledging that I've been upholding this as like proof and, a medal. How many of us are wearing suffering of bodies as a medal of honor? Look at me. I suffered today. How about you? You suffered too? Good. Aren't we cool? We're on the right path. Because, we can't enjoy our bodies. We have to suffer. We have to righteously suffer our bodies. Everything that brought up, destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, fuck, nice, shorts, boys, and mouth. So the definition is patient enduring of hardship. And so I looked up suffer, the root of it, the root of the word, and it's to be made to undergo, endure. And what's interesting is they have in parentheses after this, to be made to undergo, endure, pain, death, punishment, judgment, and grief. Doesn't that just make y'all feel warm and fuzzy inside? I mean, really. So suffer, to be made to undergo, and endure. And examples, pain, death, punishment, judgment, grief. Okay? And so because it said endure in there, I looked up endure, and it says to continue into existence. And so when we take this suffering of bodies into as a point of view and lock it into our bodies, we are actually perpetrating into existence, endure, continue into existence, the suffering, the pain, death, punishment, judgment, and grief, and undergoing of the punishment and affliction. I mean, wow. I think that is everything that brings up everywhere we went. Hey, that's a great idea. That's the ticket into heaven. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, fuck, nice, shorts, boys, and beyond. Cool. My producer's joining me in the chat room, and she has some fun things. She's like, and I've noticed people making the suffering worse when they don't receive the same level of pity as the last time they created it. Good awareness. It is really interesting how we do this. Those who hold the suffering up as a badge of honor. And, I wish I could say I only knew a few cases of people who were enjoyed their suffering. I was just in Costa Rica at this study class that is facilitated by Gary Douglas. And, we were talking about how some people are happy and they're unhappy. And, and I've noticed, I've talked a lot about this on the shows. It's like, how many people do you know who actually desire to be happy, desire to change, or desire to let go of their pain, suffering, disease, right? there's not many out there who are actually desiring that, which is really, really interesting. I've facilitated a lot of people all over the world with their bodies and with their life. And it's interesting to see the people who they say, oh, I want this to change, I want this to change, and I don't care how emphatically they're saying this. And this is why I'm always like, look at the energy behind everything. Because, yes, the words have power, but you also have to look at the energy behind it. Just because somebody is emphatically saying to me, I want this to change, I want this to change, I want this to change, doesn't mean the energy in the universe is actually of change. I mean, I know so many people who define themselves by their disease, define themselves by their suffering, define themselves by their pain, suffering, disease. You guys may have heard me say that over the years. Pain, suffering, and disease. How many people do you know, or even if you look in the mirror occasionally, is it you, define themselves by their pain, suffering, and disease of their body? Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, on my church, boys, and beyonds. Okay, cool. So that's quite a bit of energy on that one. Let's do that one again. All the places and spaces where you are knowingly or unknowingly, cognitively or uncognitively, consciously or unconsciously, defining you, your life, even your day, by the pain, suffering, and disease of your body. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. And, and it's interesting because I let me say this right now. This is not a judgment, okay? Some people do define themselves as this, and I actually have no point of view if they change it. Even if we're in a private session or you guys are listening to this radio show. I had a woman who I was working with who had MS, and I had no point of view if she changed. And what was interesting is because I had no point of view, she got to the awareness that she liked creating MS because it gave her special parking. I mean, how funny is that? And what she realized that she had no judgment of it. She enjoyed it. She acknowledged it. And she got well enough just to the point where she could keep her special parking. Okay? So when I say I have no judgment or point of view about this, we talk about these things to give you guys awareness, to give you guys choice. What you do with it after that is up to you. Because if I have a point of view, even if you guys are listening to this radio show in 5 years, if I have a point of view that you have to change, I actually lock up what's possible for you. And that is something I would never do for you. I'm inviting you to choice, awareness, and possibility. Okay? So everywhere, you see everything that is, everything that brings up, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, flip, on nice shorts, boys, and beyonds. All right, we're going to take our first quick little break. Don't suffer too much without us over the break. We'll be back in like a minute or 2 minutes. I don't know how long the break is. And we will talk more about this. And we're going to run a couple of more processes. And there's so much more to talk about because, we may talk about suffering of bodies and family. Yay! All right. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A to Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain and 11 a.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer, it's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
It's body time. What would nurturing you and your body create in your life? Would you be willing to give yourself 30 days to find out? 4 live calls and receive direct to your inbox each day a video, process loop, or activity designed to contribute to you. It's body time. What will 30 days of nurturing create in your life? Begins October 15th. To find out more, go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. I am your host. I am your body tour guide and a number of other things. So today we're talking about righteous suffering. Who the hell does that belong to? And who the hell does this belong to is an interesting thing. We talk about in Access Consciousness and Right Body for You a lot. We talk about who does this belong to and return to sender. Because how many of the points of views do we actually have about bodies or our life actually start with us? Not very many, okay? And so when we're talking about this righteous suffering, who the hell does it belong to? I'm actually playing on the who does this belong to? Because where did this point of view start that suffering of bodies was normal, something to work towards unconsciously, sometimes consciously? You guys have heard me joke about self-flagellation. I know, joking about self-flagellation. I have a perverse sense of humor. If you guys haven't figured that out by now, let me tell you, I have a perverse sense of humor. But self-flagellation, right? So when we are looking at this and doing this, it's like, where the frickin' frack did this start? We don't know. Cognitively, we don't know. But so, the light heavy tool, something that is true for you makes me feel light. Something that's heavy for you is a lie. So, truth, does your body desire to suffer daily? What did you get? Right? It's interesting. It's like, no, our bodies don't desire to suffer daily. So let me ask you another question using the light heavy tool. So truth, does the suffering of bodies, let me rephrase that. So truth, does your body suffering buy or achieve or earn your ticket to heaven or the next life or whatever it is? Isn't that interesting? Okay, so everything that brings up story and uncreative. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, night, shorts, boys, and beyond. And, and it's interesting. And it's interesting. I know some people are like, well, that was light. It's like, cool. So wherever we've bought that is real and true, the only choice and the only possibility, would you be willing to destroy and not create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, night, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay. So what the hell does that mean? That it's light. It's like, wait a minute. Does that buy the ticket into the next, what? Okay. So all the definitions we have of what comes next, heaven, hell, next lifetime, nothingness, whatever it is, truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, night, shorts, boys, and beyond. And what's interesting is when we're looking at this about suffering, so we start breaking this down, and the suffering of bodies, some people could actually define that as this lifetime. I grew up in the Mormon culture, Latter-day Saints, right? And, no, not the polygamous Latter-day Saints. Sorry. I can hear some of your thoughts going, she's a polygamous. No, not the polygamous Latter-day Saints. There's two churches. Whole other topic. So, with the suffering of bodies, it's almost like, okay, so we go back to the definition of suffering. The patient enduring of hardship. All right, so what's interesting is with me growing up in the religious community that I did, this life is our trials and our tribulations to get to the next lifetime, where, here we go, we don't actually have a body in the afterlife, okay? So suffering of bodies is actually one of those deeply ingrained things that is like, well, we're here on this earth, and the big difference is we have a body. So we are actually suffering through this existence of having a body, so suffering of bodies as like one of the major trials and tribulations to get to the next thing. Okay? So all the creators of this, the writers, the enforcers, the generators, the perpetrators of this, the bodies are the trial to get through to the next. Truth would be willing to destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, night, shorts, boys, and beyond. Because it's really interesting, because it's like suffering of bodies. We talk about body suffering, but we, the infinite being, tend to look at it, or not look at it, but know it. It's one of those not talked about, not acknowledged, but I'm shedding light onto it right now. We tend to do this suffering of bodies, okay? So it's a patient enduring of hardship of bodies. And we've been and done everything, whether it's a pre-existence, whether it's a past life, whatever it is, we've been and done everything. And so it's like, even if you're not religious this lifetime, how many lifetimes were you religious? How many lifetimes were you, creator and generator, perpetrator of this? And so how many of us have actually been taught that this lifetime is the trial? Let me say again, in a lot of religions and a lot of other things, not just the Mormon religion, but a lot of religions, the next stage is not having a corporeal physical body. We could have the vision of it, the image of it, but not the actual physicalness of it. I know a lot of people is like, I just have to get through this life with this body, and then in the next life, in the afterlife, my body will be exalted and I will have no pain and it will just be a body of light and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, wow, is it any wonder why we're not actually allowing ourselves to enjoy our bodies this time, right now, today? Because if we enjoy our bodies, how many of us go, well, I can't get into heaven then? What if it's more than just, oh, no, it's naughty to enjoy your body, but it's like, no, If I enjoy my body, I am actually fearing for my immortal soul, and I will not get into heaven. I will not make it into the highest tier of heaven or anything like that. So everything that is, and everywhere you were the creator of it, the perpetrator, the enforcer of it, would you be willing to destroy and create it, please, and choose something else? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, pocket, nice, first, boys, beyond. Wow. This is not at all where I was expecting this show to go. Not that I have a lot of expectations of where the show goes, but wow. Okay? And I'm picking this out of your guys' universe. It's really interesting. But thanks for going down this road with me and destroying and creating all of these things. Because it's like, yeah, how many of us aren't actually enjoying our bodies, even if we say we want to, because we're fearing for our immortal soul? Because this lifetime, this time on earth, is about suffering through your body to get through to the next, to be exalted in the next level, whatever that may be. Everything that is truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Please, pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pocket, my church, boys, and beyond. Holy friggin' crap. Just saying. A lot of energy on this one. Right to suffering. Who the hell does that belong to? I should have known when I was pulling in the religious energy with the right to suffering. Silly me and naming shows. But I love it. I'm grateful I pull it out of your guys' head. All right, so suffering. Now you guys are like, I don't know where you're going to go with this. And those of you who are listening now and later, you're already vortexing so bad that I'm like, I don't know where to go either. And what I mean by vortexing is, in Access, we talk about this being you're vortexing. And what it means is your universe is becoming so spacious. The way we're able to facilitate it is like, when you have these thoughts and points of view really present in your universe, it gives me an awareness. This is why I'm talking about when I'm like picking it out of your guys' universe. It gives me an awareness of where to go, okay, because it's something solid in your universe for whatever reason. And when you're vortexing, you're so much space that I have nothing solid to get at. So thankfully, we're about time for a break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about family. We talked about religion. Let's talk about family. Why not, right? Sounds like a good segue. All right. So we're going to take a quick little break. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
It's body time. What would nurturing you and your body create in your life? Would you be willing to give yourself 30 days to find out? 4 live calls and receive direct to your inbox each day a video, process loop, or activity designed to contribute to you. It's body time. What will 30 days of nurturing create in your life? Begins October 15th. To find out more, go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am Donnielle, your host, with a number of other things. As I said on the show last week, I am your host and a few other sarcastic names. Doesn't mean they're not true. All right, so body righteous suffering. Welcome to the show, the light, funny, airy show of righteous suffering. Who the hell does it belong to? All right, now that we've destroyed and uncreated a lot of the religious aspects of the righteousness of suffering of bodies, let's talk a little bit about family and suffering of bodies. And it's interesting because the suffering of bodies also actually does play a lot with family. Simply because how many of us are actually creating our bodies, whether it's the physicalness of it or even a disease of it, as a way to actually maintain that relationship with your family, okay? I know a lot of people who are like, I have the same heart disease as my dad. I have the same bad hips as my family. I have the same fill in the blank as my ancestors, or all of us for generations have had this color hair. It doesn't even have to be a quote-unquote negative thing. It just be a hair color. But it's like, yes, I have this hair color because of my heritage or whatever it is. So how many of us are actually maintaining that as a way to connect to our families? Okay? So here's a fun process. All of the pain and suffering we have endured for others, all of the pain and suffering that we have endured for others and taken on as the healer, as the martyr, as the focus of the family, as the strong one, truth, would you be willing to destroy and create all that and return it to sender? Right, wrong, good, bad, thought, pocket, line, church, boys, and beyond. All right, now, what the freaking frack am I talking about? All right, so I know this stuff actually doesn't make cognitive sense, you guys, okay? Just be aware of that right now. It's like we wouldn't necessarily, as we go throughout the world and our life and our day, it's like we would like to think that, of course, we would always choose the light, easy, fun path. I would never, I had a conversation with my grandmother one time, and she's like, I would never choose this life. I would never, because I was talking to her one day. And this was way before Access, which was interesting. And we were talking, I'm like, well, you realize everything your life is right now, you've actually created it as such. I did not. I would not have created my life this way. I would not have chosen these things. I would not, blah, 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 blah. She's like, everything just happens. And I got the raw end of the deal. Interesting. So, raw end of the deal, raw end of the deal, raw end of the deal. All the shit you implant the next that's associated with that, holding that in place. Truth, would you guys be willing to destroy it and create it? Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, top, my insurance, boys, and beyond. Sorry, I had to stop because there was a lot of energy on the raw end of that one. As a matter of fact, it's going to make me cough. Hold on. Sorry. Wow. raw end of the deal. That's a lot of energy on that. Wow. Let's just do that again. So everywhere we are in the midst of the deal, and we think life in our bodies is a deal, and we either have the good end or the bad end or the raw end, and we're waiting to receive the raw end, and that's just what life is that raw end of happening. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaka, nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Wow. Thank you for that one. That was interesting. So yeah, what if life isn't a deal? You know, and even going back to the religious aspect of it, it's like, this is the deal. It's like, you know, we're having a conversation. Okay, this is the deal. Let me talk to you. This is the deal. You do good, you suffer bodies, and then you'll get into heaven. Okay? Everything that is destroyed and created, right, wrong, good, bad, luck on night shorts, boys, and beyond. And the underlying point of view, because I love to look at the underlying point of views about things. The underlying point of view of a deal is that there is a winner and a loser. So everywhere you've made you the loser of your life, the loser of, well, you know, and you got the losing body, because my sweet mother always used to say, I got a Pinto body. Pinto is a type of car, an old type of car that didn't work very well. Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaka, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. And on the religious aspect of us, it is still, how many of us negotiate our lives, joyous choices with God, right? How many of us give our powers over and our potency over to the deity of God? Everything that brings up, would you be willing to destroy it and create it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaka, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. And it's interesting because it's like, I don't know about you, but for me, God is someone who would encourage you to be the best, encourage you to achieve, be ease, and actually have fun. Where does the point of view come from that to be humble, to be holy, is to not have fun and to suffer? Everything that is, everywhere you were the creator, perpetrator, enforcer, and seller of it, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, Papaka, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. I'm just laughing because I had the show is amazingly cracking me up. I'm not here to dispute God, but apparently I am. You know, growing up in the real religious community, I actually had these conversations with my family and religious leaders as I was growing up, and they're like, I would tell them, I'm like, well, the God I believe in would want me to be happy. You know, the God I believe in would want you to be with whomever you desire in the afterlife, you know, or next existence, or whatever you want to call it. And what was interesting is I actually caused a lot of trouble for the point of view when I was a kid that you didn't have to suffer to achieve things, that you didn't have to suffer to be righteous, that you didn't have to suffer to grow, to achieve, to be better than you were yesterday. So everything that brings up, everywhere you were that little kid full of hope and optimism and enjoyment and life and light, and you were denied it, you were subdued, you were made wrong, you were judged, you were told to get in line. Truth, would you be willing to get out of line? Would you be willing to step out of line and be you and be that fun and light and joy again? Anything doesn't allow that with ease, destroy it and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. And, and something that was just said in that really had a lot of energy on it, and I think will add some clarity to this whole conversation, is I didn't believe you had to suffer to achieve, to grow, to be better. How many of us are actually using the suffering of bodies to grow, to achieve? No pain, no gain. We talk about that phrase, no pain, no gain. But this feels like it's going a little bit deeper on that. It's like, and we find these reasons and justifications. It's interesting because even like, I've been having a lot of talk about finances and stuff lately. I'm moving apartments, and so, that kind of stuff comes up because, you're moving apartments, you're looking at finances, what you can afford, what you can't afford, and you have to, show the people you're moving in, you can afford it, and all that kind of stuff. And so it's been interesting the number of times I have started, but then POC'd it, fortunately. Love the tools. Thank you, Gary Douglas, for the tools. Of where I went into reason and justification for having some money and how hard I worked for it. I had to prove the suffering to validate the money that I had received. Okay? So how many of us are using suffering, whether it's of bodies or life, to validate our receiving, validate the growth, validate the change, validate being more, validate being greater? Everything that is, everything that brings up, everywhere we have made suffering as the only possible path to grow, to achieve, to receive, to be more. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Well, interesting subject, my friends. I'm so grateful for those of you who are going there with me and changing the world, by willing to be more. So we are going to take our last break of the show. When we come back, who the heck knows what we're going to talk about? I keep thinking it's family, and we keep going back to religion, which, family is some part of it. And, now we're changing the whole religious community. How does it get any better than that? So I can't wait to see what comes up next segment. So this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
It's body time. What would nurturing you and your body create in your life? Would you be willing to give yourself 30 days to find out? 4 live calls and receive direct to your inbox each day a video, process loop, or activity designed to contribute to you. It's body time. What will 30 days of nurturing create in your life? Begins October 15th. To find out more, go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back to one of the strangest shows I have ever done in a long time. It is Righteous Suffering. Who the hell does that belong to? And, we've been kind of exploring some of this. It's like, okay, so where did this start? And where did it start? Why do we think this is the place and the space to go to? And if you're just joining us, please listen to the first 45 minutes of the show. It's been interesting, to say the least. So let's do a process, okay? What invention of suffering maintains and entrains the judgment of wow, it's really interesting. Okay, so what invention of suffering maintains and entrains the need? What invention of suffering maintains and entrains the judgment of... Okay. So, what invention of suffering maintains and entrains the need for reason and justification for receiving, growth, betterment, and being more? Everything that is times a godzillion, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. So what invention of suffering maintains and entrains the need for reason and justification for receiving, growth, betterment, and being more? That's all. Everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Wow. All right. This has been an interesting show, you guys. I hope we shifted and changed a few things about suffering. It's like, well, what else is possible when we don't have to suffer to change? I think one of the shows coming up in the next few weeks is what if you create from the haves instead of the have-nots? And, and this is part of it. And I'm so glad we did this show, because I think that show will then be even more potent and able to go more deep. Because the suffering is always being in the hole. The suffering is always being in the negative. And so we have to pull ourselves out. We have to go through it. But what if we don't have to suffer to change things? What would your life be like today if you didn't suffer? What would your body be like today if you didn't suffer? And even if your body's in pain, what if you could have ease with that? What if it's not a suffering? What if it's an intensity of an awareness? What is your body telling you? What is your body giving you information about? Okay? So thank you guys for joining me on this very, 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 very interesting show. I'm always so grateful for the places and spaces and the vulnerability that you guys are willing to go with me to change not just your world, but the world. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And I know part of what these energies being revealed is this 30 days of nurturing that we are doing. So please, if you guys would like to join in, you still can. We can send you the because you get a daily email and some live calls, and it's a video or a PDF and an MP3. It's really been fantastic, the things that have been coming up. And you can start at day 30, or you can join us wherever it is, or day 1 and go through the 30. It's going to be a very interesting program by the end. Today, we're halfway through, and I can't believe it has gone so fast and so amazing and so much fun. And I'm so grateful for everybody who's playing with me on it. Nurturing for me, opposite of suffering, which I was doing. I was doing suffering of my body before I did nurturing of my body. And when I was doing suffering of my body, my life stalled. I achieved things, but my life was sucky. I was even somewhat happy, not really happy, but kind of happy. But this reality is an okay happy, but not truly happy, but just enough happy to not be put away. But I was doing suffering of bodies, and my life reflected that. And then when I started using the Right Body for You and the Access Consciousness tools, I started nurturing my body and nurturing my life. And this is where things really started changing for me, was that nurturing aspect. Instead of that suffering aspect to prove and validate, I nurtured. And what happens when you suffer a plant? Don't water it, it doesn't grow. What happens when you nurture a plant? It grows, it thrives, it flourishes. So, Truth, would you be willing to nurture you and your body and your life? Those things. Anything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, Wapaco, night shorts, boys, and beyond. And that's why I'm having such a good time with this series. Is because it's like, if we can nurture our bodies and nurture our lives and not suffer our bodies and suffer our lives every day, so much more is created, not just in our world, but the world everywhere. Please be aware that the choices you make today are not just for you, it's actually for the whole world. Because as in one of the commercials, Dane, our friend Dr. Dane here, was talking about it. It's like, you being you are the gift and change the world is asking for. And Truth, is the world asking you to suffer, or is the world asking you to thrive and be? And what's going to help you thrive and be? Suffering or nurturing? So, hey, you know what? What else is possible? So, and you guys, I so enjoy doing the show. Please let me know if you guys have anything that you would like me to address. I'm always looking for fun topics. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about bodies every time, because bodies are kind of with everything and everything is kind of with bodies. So let me know. I have a great time with this. Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Drop me a line and let me know. All right. Thanks, everyone. Make it a great week. Make it a fun week. Make it a nurturing week. Enjoy your body, because it's enjoying you. And please be back next week, because you know what? I will be, and I hope you are too. You and your body. And hopefully you will have nurtured and had fun this week. All right. Thanks, everyone. So grateful for you. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.